Well, hello there, and welcome to Healthy from Head to Toe. I'm so excited to be coming to you live today and sharing some information with you, some things with you that I have been doing that I feel like could be beneficial for you as well. I want to share with you about my miracle morning and how I get started in the mornings. I actually got introduced to this concept about 2 or 3 years ago from my friend Diana. She and I met for coffee at my favorite coffee shop in downtown Mebane. Some of you know the one. And she shared this with me, that she had been reading this book called The Miracle Morning and what a difference it made for her. Now, she and I are similar in age, but I have no kids at home. She has 2 kids at home. And so, we have different morning routines, but it's interesting that it works fabulously for both of us. And so about a month ago, so she and I had that conversation like 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, yeah, I need to get that book. I need to read it. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men. We plan to do stuff and just never quite get to it. Well, about a month ago, I was on an online training, and they had guest speakers every day, and one of the guest speakers was Hal Elrod, who is the author of that book, The Miracle Morning. And so Hal began to share with us some of the things in the book, and I was like, oh, I need to write this down. And it was so good, and it reminded me and took my mind back to that conversation that Diana and I had 2 or 3 years ago. And so I began to think about what he said. Now, some of you know me personally, some of you know me more on a business type setting, but I will confess to you that I am not a morning person. Any of you who have early morning meetings with me will see me grabbing that coffee first thing trying to get going, and I'm just not a morning person. But I have to tell you, I have been doing this now for almost a month, and doing this miracle morning, and it has made such a difference in my mornings and in my day. And I've got my little notes here, so I may share some out of my notes. But one thing Hal, the author, said was, if you can win the morning, you can win the day. And I totally agree with that. That's what I find too. This past week, it rained Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which I know we needed it. I'm not complaining, but it conflicted with my miracle morning. There were some of the things that I normally do for my miracle morning that I could not do. And yesterday I had the opportunity to go out to walk, to do some of that, and it made such a difference in my day. And I was actually really surprised how much of a difference it made in my day, that I got probably 2 or 3 times as much done yesterday in a short amount of time than I did those other days. And I know it was because of, just having that miracle morning, operating in a different set of energy, just getting it done. So I wanted to take a minute really fast and just share this with you. I'm going to share with you what the author said, and then, sorry, I've got a lot of traffic coming up down my road here, but I love doing this outside. I want to share with you what the author says and the order he gives, and then what I do too, just to make it a little more relatable, if that makes sense. So again, he talks about winning that morning to win your whole day. And basically in the book, if I understood him correctly, sorry, I'm holding this, so I'm gonna move this so I can get to my notes. I need more hands. Okay, I think I've got it. He recommends, it's kind of a, what do you call it, an acrostic where you have letters and they stand for something. So the letters are the word savers, S-A-V-E-R-S. So the first S is for silence. So first thing in the morning, I don't know about you, but the first thing I normally do is grab my cell phone to see, who I need to contact, what I missed, what happened. And that's actually not what the author recommends at all. He says you need to have silence, whether that's praying, breathing, meditation, quiet time. For those of y'all that know me, it's going to be prayer. But you just take a moment, a little bit of time of silence. So that's the S, silence. A is for affirmations, and these are tangible and measurable. He even says to write them down. In a minute I'll share what I do, but he says to write them down, and write down, what am I committed to today? What am I going to do today that maybe I didn't get to do yesterday? An example he gives is, I am committed to being happier today than I was yesterday. It can be something that simple. Or I'm committed today to get this paperwork done that I should have got done yesterday. Whatever that looks like for you. The V in Savers is for visualization. Activity to do today to get results. Think about what you're going to do today to get whatever it is you need to get done. Today's Saturday. Maybe Saturday, I know for my mother, and as long as I've been alive, is cleaning the house. That's her thing. She cleans from top to bottom every Saturday. So I'm sure she's already visualized what she wants to focus on today. So whatever that looks like for you, if it's something at home, if it's something in your business, if it's something in your life, whatever, you can focus on that. E in Savers is for exercise. 30-minute walk. He says do jumping jacks, do whatever will get you energized. Now for me, I've discovered it's walking. That just helps me so much. The R in Savers is for reading. This is crucial right now. Choose a book that is going to inspire you, empower you. For me, that book is the Bible. For you, it could be a self-help book, some other book, but a book that's going to encourage you and help you. The R in Savers, that's for reading, so we covered that. The S in Savers is for striving, so journaling. And this is something I actually started doing when the beginning of the COVID-19 hit. As a lot of you know, I am very busy with my business. I like being busy, and when all this hit and everything stopped, I was like, what do I do with myself? And so I started journaling, which I used to journal back in my 20s, which has been a little while ago, and it just has helped me kind of process some of this and kind of work through some of this. And so that was the last one, journaling, and maybe even writing that journal some things that you're grateful for, which is what I've been trying to really focus on too. So this is the acronym or the acrostic, Savers. And what I want to share with you really fast, just to make this practical, because I know you may be hearing this and thinking, okay, that's great, Anna, that's good for you, but how am I gonna, like, you know, I have kids or I don't have kids, or I have a business or I don't have a business, or I have this or I have that, I have aging parents to take care of, whatever is going on in your life. So what I normally do now is I get up in the mornings, and first thing I have that silence time, and then I start reading. I read in my Bible. I'll be honest, I read Psalms for inspiration and encouragement, and then I read Proverbs. And whatever day it is, so today is the 23rd day of May, so I read Psalm 23 and Proverbs 23. And I've really tried to focus on that silence and not just reading it and going, okay, well, that was good, but really thinking about it and maybe picking out one verse that really applies to what's going on in my life or my business, or just something I want to focus on. I underline that and really like kind of meditate on that one. In the book of Psalms it says Selah, meditate on this. And so I've been trying very hard to do that and not just rush to get through it, but to really think about it and meditate on it. Then the next thing that I do after I read, so I'm kind of going out of order, but it's all good, it's all good. So the next thing I do is after I read, I usually do the exercise next, and I'm actually outside. I'm actually getting ready to do that this morning. When I finish right here with you, I am going to go for a walk, and I've went to the walking track and tried to do it there. I actually love walking around my neighborhood. Now my street, as you can obviously hear, all the cars are going up and down. It's a very busy road, but we have a back street, and the back street is great, and it's actually helped me reconnect with some of my neighbors. Usually I'm not flying down the road, but I'm running the speed limit, and I'll kind of throw my hand up. But this has actually given me a chance to say hi and wave, and they actually see my face and I see their face. And so it's really helping me connect back with my community, which is great, and didn't even think about that. During that exercise time, what I started doing is as I mentioned earlier, I started keeping a journal. And interestingly enough, I'm an old school person, so as you see this, if I can hold it, pen and paper, pencil and paper. But I have been recording my journal on my cell phone. I'll hit the voice text button and I just start talking. And I've noticed that I have some of my most productive thoughts during that walk. It gets my energy up, it gets my think tank going, it gets me going. And so I've started journaling, and I'll talk about what happened yesterday, what I want to happen today, what maybe didn't get finished yesterday that I want to work on today, things I'm grateful for. And so I'm actually doing that striving step while I'm doing that, and really the affirmations and the visualizations too. and it just helps me so much. I'm sort of doing it all together, which really works well for me, and it's just really helping me be way more productive. Like I said yesterday, I got to go on that walk, and I've been doing the other steps all week, but the walk, that's where I do my journaling. That's where I do my affirmations. That's where I do my visualization. And honestly, for affirmations, you know, if you're not familiar with affirmations, or maybe you're like, I don't even know what affirmation to do, I do one that's very simple. I read this in a book once, and if you're interested in the book, I've got it on the bookshelf so I can give you the name of it. But in the book, they give just a very simple affirmation, and that affirmation is, every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. And I just repeat that to myself all during the day. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Now, this could apply if I'm sick, if I've got allergies, you know, and I want to feel better, but it can also apply if I'm maybe confused in my mind or unclear about what I want to do. It can apply to anything. So I love that. I love that it's a, I don't want to use the word generic affirmation, but it applies to anything. It's kind of a one size fits all. So I know this video went a little longer than normal, but I wanted to share this with you just because it has helped me so much during this pandemic, just to cope with this crazy stressfulness of all this and still trying to, you know, do life and run a business and do everything I need to do. And I know, you know, for a lot of you, you may have, you know, ideas too, and I'd love for you to share them below in the comments if you've done something similar, or maybe you have some ideas that would kind of help us all have a more productive day, build up our energy, have a more productive day, and just get our mind in that right frame of mind. Because like I said, Hal Elrod, the author, says, if you win the morning, you can win the day. And I totally agree with that. Well, y'all have a fabulous day. I am going to go walk, and I will see y'all right here again very soon.